Hello and welcome to a new tutorial about installing a web server with Apache, PHP, MySQL and php-myadmin while using the newest version of Ubuntu. But before I roll out the intro, on the web server tutorial about Mac and Windows PCs, there were many people asking stuff like how to make my website now available to the public. Well, this is not for that. You could make that happen, but that's way more complicated. If you want to make a public website, you have to go and buy some space on a web server. This, however, is only meant for a private, local web server, just to develop and test your projects before making them public. Welcome back. So, for the whole guide itself, there will be a short written version in the description with the exact timestamp next to it, so you will always be able to reread everything. Let's finally begin by installing Apache. First of all, we will need to open a new console window and update our packages with the command sudo apt-get update followed by your root password. After that, we can start installing Apache with the command sudo apt-get install apache2 and wait. You should get asked if you are sure, so hit the Y key, confirm it with enter and wait until the command is fully executed. Now, to test if everything went fine with the Apache installation, just use the command sudo apache-2ctl configtest. Usually, like in my case, you will get an error that the server's domain name is not set, so we need to change that. For that, just edit the Apache config by using the command sudo nano /etc/apache2/apache2.conf. In here, scroll all the way down to the bottom and add the line ServerName 127.0.0.1 just as I did. Then hit the Ctrl and O key to save the file and the Ctrl X key to exit the program. Now we can retry the Apache self-test to see if it worked, so again use the command sudo apache-2ctl configtest. And if the program answers syntax OK, then everything is alright. As last, we need to restart Apache to use the new configuration, so use the command sudo systemctl restart apache2. Now you can open your browser and go to the website localhost or 127.0.0.1, which in both cases is usually just your own computer. And this site will show up, which indicates that Apache is working just fine. Now you can open your file explorer and go to the root folder and navigate to /var/www/html. And you will end up here where you can find the index.html file, which is the file which is hosted by our web server and showing on your browser right now. But a small problem is that the HTML folder is by default restricted for any modifications or file creation. Therefore, we need to give us some permissions with the command sudo chmod 777/var/www/html. From now on, we will be able to create and modify and even delete files within the HTML folder. Now where Apache is done, we can head over to MySQL. For that, we will use again the command sudo apt-get install with the program mysql-server, and again wait a bit. As before, confirm this installation with the Y and the Enter key. After some time, you will come to this screen where you will be asked to give a MySQL password for your root account, or in other words, just the administrator account for MySQL. But don't forget that this new root account is not the same as the one you are using on your Linux console. This one is only for MySQL. But be sure that you give it at least 5 letters while having one uppercase and one number. If you don't do this, you may have warning messages later on, which are pretty annoying. Now, after the installation, you could perform a MySQL self-security check by using the command sudo mysql_secure_installation, but that's not needed. If you really want to test it, do it as I'm usually doing it. But if you don't, just ignore this step. Now after MySQL is installed, it's time to install PHP. For that, use again the command sudo apt-get install, followed by php libapache2 -mod -php, php-mcrypt and php-mysql, and then hit enter. Now your console will install each and every of those programs, so give it some minutes. But like before, you may get as if you are sure, so hit again the Y key and confirm with enter. Okay, so PHP is installed and we need to configure our Apache web server to prioritize PHP files over HTML files, so that if you open localhost, it will take a index.php file before taking the index.html file. For that, open the config of Apache with sudo nano /etc/apache2 /mods -enabled dir.conf and hit enter. Here, go into the second line and add index.php before the index.html, and then delete the index.php at the end of the line and save again with Ctrl-O and exit the program with Ctrl-X. Now to make the new config happen, use the command sudo systemctl restart apache2 to refresh Apache. After you've installed everything, we can now go back into the HTML folder and create a new file called index.php. Then open it and give it the content that you can see here. If you take now your browser and refresh the website, you will end up here on this PHP info screen, where you will find every bit of information about your installed PHP version. But if you're still stuck on the old website, just clear browser cache, delete your history and reload the website. And now, where everything is working fine, we can start to install php-myadmin to take control over our MySQL server. And while it's way too complicated on a Windows and Mac machine, here in Linux it's super easy. We just use the command sudo apt-get install php-myadmin, everything lowercase, and then confirm it with Y and enter. Then we wait a bit, hit enter while having Apache 2 selected, wait again, hit enter, and wait again, and then type in the MySQL administrator password that you've chosen before, confirm it, and then hit enter again. And now everything is already installed. Now there are only two things left to do. First is to tell Apache that there is an installed version of php-myadmin. So we can open the Apache config file with sudo nano /etc/apache2 /apache2.conf. In here we scroll all the way down beneath the server name part that we added before, and we add a new line saying include /etc/php-myadmin /apache.conf. Save with Ctrl-O and we quit the program with Ctrl-X. Now the very last thing is to restart Apache, so we use sudo apache2ctl restart. And now we can finally go to localhost /php-myadmin and we will be able to log in with the root account and the password that we've chosen before and edit the database. And this is basically it. Now we have a fully operational web server with Apache, PHP, MySQL and php-myadmin on top, up and running and ready for development. So, and this was it then for this web server tutorial on the newest Ubuntu. I hope you found what you were looking for and wish you all the best with your future projects. Here I will also link you some other video which may be interesting for you. As always, if you want, subscribe, give a like and leave your opinion or maybe a question about this topic in the comment section. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.